name is Jack, and we're in the Peak District. I've just turned 6, and this is my first day reading a book, and I'm going to read you a book from a far-off planet by a smed named Janet and a smoo named Bill, and it is called The Smeds and the Smoos. The Smeds and the Smoos by Julia Donaldson, an actual chef there. By the creators of the Gruffalo. By a nubial lake on a far-off planet, there lived a young smed, and her name was Janet. Not far away, on a humpty hill, lived a young smoo by the name of Bill. Janet, like all the smeds, was red, and this is what her grandfather said: never, never play with the smoos. Never, never play with the smoos. They sleep in holes, they wear strange shoes. They jump about like kangaroos. Never, never play with the smoos. Bill, like the other smoos, was blue. And these were the words of Grandmother Smoo. Never, never play with the smeds. They have strange hair upon their heads. They sleep in funny things called beds. Never, never play with the smeds. The smeds on the lane like nothing better than splashing about and getting wetter and wetter. But Janet grew bored with this watery play. Early one morning she tiptoed away. The smoos jumped about on their humpty hill. They bounced up and down and never stood still. And Bill was beginning to think, this is boring. So early one morning he set off exploring. Janet met Bill in the Warpula Wood, where trockets grew tall and the wampum smelled good. The two rubbed antenna and played all day long. She told him a story and he sang her a song. Then they climbed up to the top of the jerry cot and nibbled its juicy, jellyful fruit. But till who should disturb them? But Grandfather Smed, shaking his fists as he angrily said, never, never play with a smoo. They're such a nasty shade of blue. For the 100th time I say to you, never, never play with a smoo. Grandmother Smoo was close behind. This is how she spoke her mind. Never, never play with a smed. They're such a dreadful shade of red. I'll say again what I've always said, never, never play with a smed. Years went by on the far-off planet. Janet missed Bill and Bill missed Janet. But they crept whenever they could, sing and play in the Warpula Wood. Two of them grew and decided to wed. But what do you think their grandparents said? Never, never marry a smoo. They're a beachly bunch, they're a crazy crew. They drink black tea, they eat green stew. Never, never marry a smoo. Never, never marry a smed. My dearest child, are you off your head? They drink pink milk. They eat brown bread. Never, never marry a smed. Janet and Bill stole out that night, while the family slept in the squadron shone bright. They clambered into the Smeds' red rocket. Grandfather Smed had forgotten to lock it. Bill pressed the button and Janet stared. I should have picked the last one.
It's okay.
I should have picked the last one. I should have picked the last one. When their families woke, they both disappeared. Smed said, "Your Bill must have stolen our Janet and taken her off to a distant planet." The Smoos said, "It's Janet who's stolen our Bill and lured him away from a Humpty Hill." The Smoos climbed into their rocket of blue. They said to the Smed, "You better come too." Suspicious and growling, they soared into space till they reached planet Vumjum, a dry, dusty place. The Vums had long arms which they waved in the air, but they didn't have news of the runaway pair. Next stop was Nuggleswamp, covered in roses and watered by beasts with small eyes and long noses. They touched down on Grimbletosh, coated in grime. They searched planet Glurch, but found nothing but slime. One morning, the Smoos found they were out tea. So the Smed shared their milk, which was as pink as could be. And Grandfather Smed said my hair needs a trim. And Grandmother Smoo kindly cut it for him. They landed on Squat where the Swoopies were kilts. They flew to Kaboo where the Clabs walked on stilts. They searched it all year long and such longer still. Alas, they didn't find Janet, and they didn't find Bill. Alas, said the Smoods, alack. The Smed said, alack. We've failed our quest, we'd better turn back. So they turned and flew home to their very own planet. And far down below them they saw, don't show any of the planets.
It's okay, it doesn't matter.
I still want to show them. Bill and Janet, the rocket touched down, and they ran to the wood where the trockets grew tall and the glom-poms smelled good. And there in the glade by the rocket of red, where the runaway Smoo and the runaway Smed, they'd got lost and flown home again, only to find that all the others left them behind. There was joy, jam and jumping. Then Janet said, maybe you'd like to make friends with our dear little baby. A baby? A red one, a blue one. But no. That baby was purple from head to toe. They all hugged the Smoos bed, their new baby brother, and Grandpa and Gran even hugged one another. They laughed and they splashed and they danced with delight, and they played with that baby from morning till night. They made him rattle, they made him flute, they fed him the fruit of the jerry cot. Then they sang by the light of the silvery swan. And you can sing too if you make up a tune. Play with the smeds and play with the smoos. Play with whichever friend you choose. Then close your eyes and while you snooze, dream of the smeds and dream of the smoos. And also, we might read Monkey Puzzle, The Gruffalo's Child, Sick Man, Tabby Mick, Cat the Smartest Shine in Town, Snail and the Whale, Tiddler, Zog and the Flying Doctor's Room on the Broom, Charlie Cook's favourite book, The Highway Rat, The Squareco's Reading Superworm, A Squash and a Squeeze, The Ugly Five, and The Baddies. Might read any of those ones next time. So, hope you enjoyed and bye-bye!